Have you ever found yourself looking at your child, just staring at their unfinished homework, and you just think, why can't you just focus? It's beyond frustrating, right? And it almost always leads us down a path to one simple and, well, pretty powerful misconception.
I mean, does this sound familiar? It's a line we hear, and maybe even say, in so many homes. You've got a child who just seems to be off in their own world, totally unable to lock on to whatever's right in front of them, whether it's a math problem or just a simple conversation at the dinner table.
And let's be real, that's where our minds jump to, isn't it? We see the task that's not getting done, we see the wandering eyes, the project that's been abandoned, and we put a label on it. We call it laziness, or a lack of effort, maybe even a character flaw.
But hold on a second. I want you to just pause on that thought. Because what if that diagnosis, that label we're so quick to apply, is just completely wrong? What if the real issue isn't a flaw in their character at all, but actually a gap in our approach?
Okay, so let's really start by tearing down that common misconception, this whole idea that a kid who can't focus is just being lazy.
So here's how we usually see it, right? The common view is it's laziness. It's a character flaw, and honestly, it's a reason to get frustrated and scold them. But what if we just flip the script entirely? What if it's not laziness, but actually an untrained skill? Not a character flaw, but a system deficit. Suddenly, a reason to scold becomes a reason to teach. That changes everything.
And this brings us to a really powerful idea. Attention isn't some fixed trait you're born with. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it can be built and strengthened over time. Seriously, think about this for a second. We spend years teaching our kids how to read. We teach them how to write. We teach them how to count. We have entire systems and lesson plans for all of it. But when was the last time anyone sat down and actually taught a class on how to focus? We just sort of expect kids to know how to do it.
So, attention is a cognitive skill, and the absolute best way to think about it is like a muscle. I mean, you wouldn't expect a kid to walk into a gym and lift a heavy weight without any training, right? So why in the world do we expect them to perform these really complex feats of concentration with zero practice? This question really puts the responsibility back on us. If we, as the parents and the educators, don't even really understand the mechanics of how attention works, how can we possibly expect our kids to just magically figure it out all on their own?
Getting this wrong has a really high cost. It's not just that they don't finish their homework. It can actually create this damaging downward spiral that starts to affect every single part of a child's life. And it starts small. An untrained focus means the child ignores the lesson in class. Okay, so because they missed the lesson, they can't do the assignment. Then the frustration builds, and that spills over. They quit the soccer team because they can't follow the coach's instructions. And eventually, they even start to tune out of conversations at home. It's a cascade effect, one thing leading to the next.
And throughout this whole process, what is the child hearing over and over again? They're hearing the labels that we, often without even meaning to, put on them. You're so inattentive. You're just slow. Why can't you be more like your brother? Those words, they really stick.
And the end result of this whole downward spiral? It's a child who takes those labels and internalizes them. They start to truly believe that something must be fundamentally deeply wrong with them. And their self-worth just crumbles, all because a skill was never taught in the first place.
But here's the thing. It absolutely does not have to be this way. By just reframing the problem, by looking at it through a new lens, we can change their entire trajectory. There is a new and much more productive path forward.
This is the key takeaway. Your child's focus isn't broken. It's just unbuilt. It's not a problem that needs to be fixed. It's a structure that needs to be constructed, piece by piece, with a lot of patience and, of course, the right tools.
And so that leaves us with one final, really powerful question. It's a question that can transform us from being these frustrated spectators into being active, supportive coaches for our kids. What happens if we just stop asking, why can't he focus, and we start asking, how can we teach him? That single shift in perspective, while it can change absolutely everything.